Okay, well, everything didn't go quite as planned on my new workstation. There seems to be a problem with the motherboard, um, which is kind of unfortunate. I did a post test earlier when I got the system board. What I didn't do, however, is actually try to enter the BIOS. So you press like the delete key or the F2 key to enter the BIOS when you're booting this ASUS system board. So I didn't do that as part of my post test. So I didn't catch a particular problem with this motherboard. Now, unfortunately, it's been 30 days since I bought the system board. So I can't just like return it to Amazon. I'll have to send it in. So I'll show you kind of what it's doing. So as you can see, it's all water cooled. I got the water blocks on the graphics cards down there. There's a water block on the CPU back there. There's a pump and reservoir that feeds these tubes, and of course there's radiators in the front there. So let me show you what's going on. So turning on the power supply switch, you'll see the motherboard goes into standby mode. So the computer's not technically on, but there's always some power that it uses to be like in the standby mode. And you can see the Zenith II logo there from this ASUS motherboard. Pretty cool motherboard, that's for sure. So I'll throw the power switch and you'll see kind of why this has been taking a long time to build. So powering up here, so you can see the motherboard's come to life. The cooling system is working. You can see the fluid, rippling a little bit in there. So it's going through and cooling the graphics cards and the CPU. So that stuff's all working good. There's radiators in the front. So there's like the two radiators I did a picture of earlier. And then of course there's the fans. This case has a plexiglass front, so you can see the fans going there. I do have one lighting problem, so this fan up here is not lighting, but I'll take care of that once the computer's running. So the problem. So if you look back there, you see that little tiny green light, and that little green light is staying on. That's the problem. Now let me show you what the light sequence goes. Now first, when you power it on, you see a yellow light. That means it's checking the memory. And if the yellow light stays on, that means the memory's bad. But it doesn't stay there. It will flash a white light, and the white light means it's checking the graphics cards to make sure they're functional. So and it gets past that test, and then eventually when it's done testing the graphics cards, it'll turn green. And what green means is it's checking for the boot hardware, like looking for like the M2 drive that I had in there, or if you had like a hard drive in there, or SSD drive plugged into a SATA cable. The problem is that, and of course the display says memory test right now. The problem is that when the green light is on, it's saying, well, you need to check your hard drive, or the M2 light. And then, so I did that. I plugged the M2 drive into different slots. Same thing happened. I don't know why the white light's staying on this time around. it's just because, you know, it's a demo. So, but you know, I tried everything. I even tried pulling out the memory cards and just putting one in, and I removed the hard drives or the SSD drives, or plugged them in different places. I removed all the USB cables. You know, the same thing keeps happening. The system just won't boot. Now, it will display on the monitor. It will say press F2 or delete key to enter the BIOS settings. But the keyboard is not responsive as far as that goes. If you press delete or the F2 key, nothing happens. But interestingly, if you press Control Alt Delete on the keyboard, it will reboot. So it's not like it's not responding to the keyboard. It just won't let you go into BIOS when that status light is on. So since it's past the 30 days, I can't just do a simple, return it to Amazon, no questions asked, and get a different one. I have to deal with tech support at ASUS, which I already did that. And I got this, this RMA paperwork that I have to fill out, and I have to take all my hard work, take all this stuff apart to pull that motherboard out of there so I can ship it back to an ASUS repair center. It is covered under warranty. At least they have like a 3-year warranty on this board. So hopefully you don't take too much time fixing it, but you know, we are living during a pandemic, so they're saying stuff is a little slower, which is understandable. So I'll just have to try to be patient. Alright, well, I just thought I would show everyone what it looks like so far. And hopefully this thing can get this thing off the ground, and I don't know, however long it takes for ASUS to send the board back, hopefully in working order. Alright, take care, stay safe.